Young people just can't afford homes anymore. And honestly, the math kind of agrees. Prices are up, rates are down, rent is crushing people. So a lot of first-time buyers feel stuck watching the dream of home ownership drift further away. But here's the part almost nobody is talking about. Some buyers are still getting into homes, not because prices suddenly got cheaper, not because they became rich overnight, but because they stopped trying to buy alone. And the strategy they're using is exploding right now. It's called co-buying. By the end of this video, I will show you why more Americans are buying homes with friends, siblings, and partners, how co-buying actually works, and why this could completely change the path to home ownership for an entire generation. You see, the dream didn't die, the numbers just broke. Here's what's fascinating. Young people have not given up on home ownership. In fact, surveys still rank owning a home as one of the biggest life goals for Gen Z and millennials. So the desire is still there. The problem is affordability. Nearly 3/4 of younger buyers say affordability is the main reason they're delaying buying a home. And you can see the impact everywhere. First-time buyers now make up just about 21% of all home purchases, the lowest level since tracking began in 1981. That's not because young buyers suddenly stopped caring. It's because the traditional path doesn't work for everyone anymore. One income, one buyer, one mortgage. For many people, that formula simply isn't enough in today's market. So buyers started asking a different question. What if I don't have to do this alone? And that question, ladies and gentlemen, is creating one of the biggest shifts happening in real estate right now. What is co-buying? Co-buying is exactly what it sounds like. It's two or more people buying a home together. That could be friends, they better be good friends, right? Siblings, unmarried couples, even business-minded roommates. Instead of one person carrying the entire financial burden, everyone contributes. You combine incomes, split the down payment, share the monthly payment, and suddenly a home that felt impossible alone becomes realistic together. And this is way more common than most people realize. Right now, millions of Americans co-own homes with someone they're not married to, and nearly 1/3 of home purchases involve co-buyers. Think about that. This isn't some niche life hack anymore. This is becoming a real affordability strategy. But here's where it gets interesting. The biggest advantage isn't just splitting the payment, it's what that unlocks. Faster entry into the market. The hardest part of many first-time buyers isn't the monthly payment, it's getting in. Saving the down payment, covering closing costs, qualifying for the loan. When multiple people save together, that timeline can shrink dramatically. Instead of waiting 5 to 7 more years, some buyers are getting into homes right now. And in real estate, time matters because while renters wait, owners build equity. More purchasing power, another major benefit. Buying power, 2 incomes often mean a better neighborhood, a safer area, shorter commutes, or simply a nicer home. Instead of settling for the only thing you can barely afford, co-buying can open options that actually fit your lifestyle. And psychologically, that changes everything, you see, because home ownership stops feeling impossible and starts feeling practical. Easier loan qualification. Lenders look heavily at debt-to-income ratios. So when multiple borrowers are on the loan, combined income can help strengthen the application. That can improve approval odds and sometimes even increase the amount buyers qualify for. That means you can get a bigger house. Again, it's not magic, It's leverage. I love that word, leverage. Lower monthly housing costs, this is the part many people overlook. In some markets, splitting ownership can actually cost less than renting, especially when rent prices continue to climb. And when repairs or upgrades come up, those costs are shared too. So for some buyers, co-buying isn't just helping them own sooner, it's creating a more manageable monthly lifestyle overall. But before everyone runs out and buys a house with their best friend or their girlfriend or boyfriend, there's one massive thing people need to get right. Co-buying only works when expectations are crystal clear because financially, you're entering a partnership. Think about that. And partnerships need structure. Questions like, who pays for what? What happens if someone wants to move? What if one person loses their job? Oh boy. How are repairs handled? What happens if you sell? Those conversations matter before buying. I always tell my clients that. Figure out all the logical, the legal stuff before you get into the home buying together. That's why smart co-buyers usually create a written co-ownership agreement, not because they expect problems, but because clarity protects relationships. Think of it like legal paperwork and more like a roadmap for one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. And honestly, the buyers succeeding with co-buying aren't treating it casually. They're treating it strategically. The reality is, the dream of home ownership is still alive and well, but the way people get there is changing. For many first-time buyers, affordability has forced creativity, and co-buying is becoming one of the biggest examples of that shift. Not everyone would choose this route, and that's okay. And it's definitely not for everyone. But for some buyers, it's turning maybe someday into, let's get the keys. And in a market where so many people feel stuck, that's a pretty powerful shift. If you are wondering whether co-buying could work for your situation, or you just want to understand your options in today's market look like, reach out and let's map out a game plan that actually fits your numbers. Contact me today or email me at kasama@kasamasells.com. Thanks for watching.